Hi guys, it's Jacob from Stringbuzz here, stringbuzzworld.org being the music journalism site, links it in the description down below. And we have a brand new song review for you today, and it's the latest track by Royal Blood, and that's Hook, Line and Sinker. So I'm going to refer to the original article as I usually do for these videos, so I hope you enjoy. Now going into this track, I must admit I was a little bit disappointed by their last single, Lights Out I think it's called, and I felt it sort of showcased some of those limitations which I was on about during that video, which I could always see coming having listened to their last album. But having said that, their last album was probably one of the more defining rock albums of that retrospective year, and the group are still chugging along with some immense momentum behind them, and I'm a big fan. So shall we see what I thought of this brand new track? Well, I thought it was excellent and a huge step up from what we had heard previously with Lights Out. The riffs are gritty and exciting, the drum mix is astonishingly good, the vocals are improved yet again as they keep improving each time around. It's just one of those instant classic rock tracks. Royal Blood are beginning to actually make a habit out of this, in fact. The distorted bass is also just unbelievable. The tone he manages to get leaves my mouth watering. It literally sounded heavier than drop-tuned guitars in a doom metal band, and I like that approach personally. There are also lots of great moments scattered throughout the runtime, and like I said, it is the riffs that make this track, and there are so many great ones to pick from here. Production wise, this is like my perfect hard rock mix. The bass has this sweet distortion and a seemingly unnoticeable dual pitch equalizer, and it legitimately sounded as if you had the nicest guitar tone paired next to the nicest of bass tones. Literally, it couldn't have been done any better in my opinion, even if you did record things separately. Then you have the drums, which are masterfully, is that the best way of putting it? Masterfully executed. The big kick drives a low ground really well with gusto and depth. The snare adds a ton of impact into that mid ground, cutting through perfectly in my opinion, and the cymbals glisten really nicely in the high ground, and the crashes really were brought through well as well. Even the vocals were great, and though they weren't tweaked much from their last album's formula, they're not too different, they didn't really need to be, and they grab onto the foreground really well, aren't manipulated, aren't too gated, and are left gritty and organic. One of the better vocal tracks we've actually heard in rock music probably in the last 2 or 3 months in my opinion, so it's a really strong production cycle. When it comes to the musicality of this track, I just had a blast listening to each section. I thought the drum sequences, although not that inventive really, complemented the riffs exceptionally well, whilst also adding these big anthemic fills into each transition. As I've said, those riffs are great on this track, and although they are fairly simplistic, like the main one is only sort of a declining note progression, they still make you want to bob your head for the first time you listen to them, and they've got that replayable quality to them as well. I also liked how the first verse had some more punky, over-dramatized vocals, with melodies a little more similar to modern alt-rock / punk rock, rather than out-and-out hard rock. There's some nice diversity there. Then they sort of changed onwards from that point, and there were sort of regular Royal Blood type melodies, vocal melodies, and it just showed for some vocal flexibility, I guess you could say, which is an aspect I always like when it comes to hard rock music. I will say that the limitations did rear their head back during the bridge of this track, as the breakdown did sound like every other Royal Blood breakdown, and I got the feeling that they had nowhere else to go there, so they sort of just phoned it in. Lyrically, the track has some themes that did the job for me, and sure, they aren't going to keep you awake at night or anything like that, they're not going to boggle your mind, but this is hard rock and it did what it had to do. So all in all, it's a great fun hard rock track released in a period where we're getting some iffy rock tracks from even the best groups around at the moment. So it's a refreshing addition to this month. So I gave it a G rating of 8 out of 10, which is well above average. So if you like this video, then please leave a like, subscribe to see more, and I'll see you around next time. Bye bye.